Good evening. Dan Rather with the CBS Evening News. The pilot of a small plane responsible for a near midair miss with President Reagan's helicopter was released today. No criminal charges, but now he's being sought again. The Army thinks he might be an absent without leave soldier, AWOL. This whole latest near-miss deal in the Southern California sky last night raises new questions about the safety of the flying public and supposed security surrounding the President of the United States. Bill Plant begins our coverage.
The airspace over President Reagan's California mountaintop ranch was foggy but free of air traffic today as the Federal Aviation Administration revoked the license of the pilot who flew a small plane within 150 feet of Mr. Reagan's helicopter near the ranch yesterday. Secret Service agents questioned Ralph W. Myers and his passenger, a Mr. Jones, for several hours overnight, but released them after deciding they had intended no harm. They were unaware that Myers is apparently an Army private absent without leave from Fort Lewis in Washington state. Sources say Myers told investigators the search for a dropped contact lens had affected his flying. But the FAA says Myers violated restricted airspace over the president's ranch and operated his aircraft in a careless and reckless manner. Myers apparently rented the single-engine plane Monday in Vancouver, Washington, for a pleasure trip down the California coast.
I think it's getting kind of blown out of proportion myself. I mean, so the guy got in a restricted airspace. That happens, probably 10 times a day all over the United States.
Yesterday, it happened over the Santa Ynez Mountains as Myers' aircraft headed south and was picked up on radar by the Santa Barbara Tower, which alerted the first of two White House helicopters heading north to the ranch. That pilot radioed the presidential helicopter, Marine One, which made what its pilot called a mild climbing move. None of the passengers saw the small plane or knew what had happened.
The president was not aware of the incident. He did not seem particularly upset when he found out about it.
Neither was the president's spokesman, Marlin Fitzwater, who said the White House and the Secret Service believe security is adequate and you can't close down the skies. Asked what's to prevent this from happening again, Fitzwater replied, nothing. The president does not fly with military protection, and at least one expert says that arming his helicopter won't work.
Putting an explosive device full of highly volatile fuel and a significant, perhaps 10 or 20 pounds of explosive warhead, you're putting that right underneath the president's seat, essentially. That's not necessarily a very good idea.
Sources say investigators wanted to arrest the pilot last night, but didn't have a reason at the time. The investigation is continuing. Bill Plant, CBS News, with the president in Santa Barbara.
The president's near miss in California came as an Eastern jetliner at Washington's National Airport aborted a landing to avoid a Piedmont jet taking off in front of it. It was the latest in a series of air incidents that left some travelers feeling a kinship with the president.
He travels in the air just like us. He's an air passenger. He takes risks just like us.
In fact, federal officials have tried to minimize the chances of a presidential air disaster. Like the White House itself, the president's ranch is one of a few officially designated prohibited areas in the nation. Pilots must be above 4,000 feet to cross the area, 5,000 when the president is there.
Any pilot who is vigilant and professional knows that that is a prohibited area and to stay away from that.
The prohibited zone is clearly marked on navigation charts, which also show another feature of the Reagan property, a navigational beacon, one of a network that helped guide pilots along the busy coastal corridor. If pilot Myers was using that system, say other pilots, it should have kept him out of trouble.
With that navigation light being there, there's no question, be very easy to determine where you are and know that you're getting close to it.
The prohibited area.
Sure.
But apparently none of the regulations can prevent what ostensibly happened yesterday. A pilot who claims he accidentally drifted off a legitimate course and into a prohibited area. So far, yesterday's incident has prompted no changes in the rules covering air travel around the president's ranch. One official said the fact that the violator was caught indicated the system is working. David Dell, CBS News, Santa Barbara.
Possible new signs of confusion and disarray tonight in President Reagan's Central America policy. In the second apparent flip